And it's nice that it's running when I don't have to think about it. And it's nice that it's running when I don't have to think about it. And it's nice that it's running when I don't have to think about it.
Moon river, wider than a mile. I'll be crossing you in style one day. Oh, dream maker.
I guess it was back in February, and I had just installed a new VCR. And so, when you set up a new VCR, you have to put in the new channels, and there's an auto selection. So I press auto, and, it's just whipping through channel, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it goes way up the band. And, the numbers are going higher and higher and higher and higher and trying to find a station. And it locks in to the station, and I'm looking at it. I'm going, this is really bizarre. I think I'm looking at a lobby in an apartment building. It was like the image wasn't great. There's no audio track. It's just a silent, it's a security camera, I guess.
But you don't live in a building that has a lobby, right?
Right.
So you're getting reception of a lobby that is not your own.
Right. I mean, if I was living in a high-rise, I wouldn't have been surprised to see my own lobby. It's a lobby in another part of the city or in my town or wherever.
But you don't know where.
Not a clue. I think there's a certain point, I think it's in March, where they start running a lot of reruns.
Mm-hmm.
And there's basically only about 5 shows that I watch religiously each week. And just out of habit, after walking the dogs or whatever and coming back at 9:30, I automatically go to those shows. And, of course, there are reruns. And then sort of thought, oh, I've always got the lobby to look at. And I decided to, just program it, keep it programmed on my dial.
On the speed dial.
On the speed dial.
So just as you're flipping, from NBC to CBS to Fox, you have the lobby right alongside of them.
Yeah, it's in the lineup. In the winter, I'm not a jock, but what I like to do when it's really cold on weekends is watch golf. Because when I watch golf, like everybody's like in a balmy part of the world and the sun's shining. But at a certain point, it just becomes tedious. And I thought, well, I'll see what's going on in the lobby. And so I'd go back and forth from golf to the lobby. And to be honest, after not very much time, the lobby won. It's far more interesting, even though there was nothing going on. And I thought, unfortunately, I have to go to work on Monday. And I wonder what happens, at key hours in the lobby. Like, for instance, is there a rush hour in the lobby? So I thought, well, you know what, I'll just start taping it.
You started taping it?
Yeah, I started setting up my VCR to record the lobby at peak hours to see if there was any traffic, see if anybody was using the lobby.
So at this point, how many tapes have you amassed?
Oh, just only 3 at LP, so I've got like about, 6, 7 hours of footage.
On each one?
Yeah.
So that's like 18 hours?
Yeah, something like that.
Uh-huh.
And then I figured, why not? I can just fast forward through it.
Mm-hmm.
And at first when I was watching, I was thinking like, is someone going to come walking in, right?
Mm-hmm.
That would have been the highlight, okay? That was my goal. But no one ever walked in. So I'm fast forwarding through it, and then all of a sudden I see something. There's an image of a woman standing right in the center of the lobby. Boom. And it looked as though she was wearing a pillbox hat, which caught my attention. So I was on to something.
Right?
Right?
Yes.
Okay, I wasn't clearly wasting my time. a sudden there she is. There's this person standing in the middle of the lobby, and I sort of forget that I'm actually watching someone in the lobby because I'm just so surprised to see anything at all. And sure enough, she starts going to her purse and she starts fumbling. She bends down, she stands up, and she looks in her hand. I assume, she found her keys, and she stops, she pauses, and then she just walks out of the frame.
And goes in.
I guess she goes in, yeah. Every time, I fast forward through these tapes, see what else is going on in the lobby. If I do see a person, it's her. And she's always wearing this pillbox hat, or what seems to be a pillbox hat.
Huh.
And it's interesting because she seems to fumble, like, she doesn't always, lose her keys, but, she'll be standing there, and she'll, sort of, seem to trip on something and grab her balance, and,
But she's sort of fumbly.
Yeah, she's a fumbly person. And, but her hat stays on her head, so that's okay. I would, be home, and I'd start preparing dinner, and I'd look up and I'd see the clock. It'd be 5 o'clock, and instead of running into the kitchen, I would just turn on the TV set and see if I can catch a glimpse of her live. Bingo. There she was.
Pillbox hat.
Yeah, and I thought this is a little weird. Weird that I'm actually stopping what I'm doing to see if a person who I don't know is coming into a building.
On a daily basis?
Yeah.
Well, how long have you been doing this?
I guess about a month.
Uh-huh.
And I really didn't think anything of it. I mean, I have a full life, I work, I enjoy what I do. And yet, for some reason, when you start watching someone, you I don't know if you're fantasizing or you just imagine, what is this person all about? And I guess I sort of figured she was in her late 30s, maybe 40. Had some sort of a regular job. It wasn't as though I was attracted to her, physically, but it was just someone else out there that I was getting to know via my TV set. One night I'm watching, and she comes in with someone, and it really threw me for a loop. I thought, who's this person with, right?
She came in with a man?
Yeah. And there she is walking with this guy. And I don't know if I was hurt. Anyways, it seemed as though, this guy, and they seemed to be comfortable together. And
How could you tell?
she was laughing. Once, I remember them coming in together, and as usual, she dropped her keys or something fumbled out of her hand. She bent down to get him, and I thought, how come he's not bending down and getting him for her? And I thought, what kind of relationship is this? One night, after I watched the two of them come into the lobby, I thought, well, I wonder what's going to happen. I wonder if this guy's really going to stay around for a long time. So I kept the tape running just in case I missed something, but I went into the kitchen and made dinner and sat down in front of the TV and watched it.
You watch while eating dinner?
I watched the TV, the lobby. And I was wondering, if I would see this guy leave. And he didn't leave.
And how late did you end up watching until?
I watched it till around midnight.
And he didn't leave?
No. So I watched it for about 6 hours. Put in another VHS tape, and I put it at SLP, long speed. He never left.
He didn't. He never came out.
No. Hours and hours of tape, and I just sort of fast forward through it, but no, he never left. And I thought, good for her.
And that's it? Just good for her?
Yeah.
Nothing else?
No.
Not a little something else?
No, I was like now growing, I was becoming concerned for her happiness. But it's over. Whatever it is, it's over. And so I thought, okay, as a grand finale, I went over and I actually deleted that channel to the lobby channel.
So it's not, so now when you go from, say, PBS to Fox, it just goes straight?
Yeah, straight through.
Straight through, no
more
stop at the
lobby.
lobby, nothing?
Yeah, no.
It's gone?
It's over. Yeah. I wasn't disappointed. But it was just like, I don't know. It sort of signified the end of winter. And spring was coming, and it was time to move on.
Oh, dream maker, you have